You hear me now? Testing. Can 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 you hear me now? Testing. How about now? Nope, I still hear the echo. How about now? What do you think of that? Ah, right. It was just me being stupid. Oh, I get it. I know what's going on. So I run Quarm in administrative mode, so I can't push to talk on the Quarm screen. I have to go off to one of my other monitors. If I were to run OBS in admin mode, that would fix it, but I can't do that while I'm live streaming, so. You can hear me now, though, right? I see my mic audio moving in OBS. So, minor inconvenience for this single stream. I could always edit the properties of OBS and make sure it always opens in admin mode. Yeah, you have to do a lot of funny things with Quarm, or just the Alcabor project in general, because anything can cause you to just start crashing out. It's just the properties of it being originally designed for Mac and them converting it. There's lots of things you can do to improve it, though, which I've done, I don't know, countless things to solve crashing. There's a secondary file format, or a file that was approved by the server owner, Secrets, by a guy named Salty. He created this thing called Zeal, and I think I was telling you about it, but it basically adds a ton of quality of life stuff to the game. Like the free camera that you see me zooming around in, when you play Quarm without Zeal, you can't swing your camera like that in third-person mode. I have, every time I move forward on my keyboard, I do a location, but you don't see that location because he added a no print mode, so it doesn't go into the chat. But the reason why I do my location every time I move my character is because if you see that map up on my screen, that's a third-party program called nparse, which is a parser, but it's also a map program. It needs access to your logs, and every time you hit location, it can update the map. So if you don't have lock going every time you move, the map will never update. So for months, because the no print thing just happened a couple days ago, like maybe a week ago, for months people were just spamming their own chat with their own location just to use the mapping software if they use it. There's a lot of people who don't like to use it, but it is approved by the server owner, so it doesn't do any harm to the game. I don't know the maps that well, and I'm not going to EQ Atlas to look at them. Just too much work. Yeah, just like autofire. Zeal added at this point in time. This is like I don't know what version I'm on. It's the newest version, but there's probably been 30 versions of it. You know, the guy updates it once or twice a week. And on the Project Quarm Discord, there's a special section for Zeal where you can suggest changes that you would like to see made with Zeal. See if it's possible to bring in stuff that, you know, quality of life stuff or stuff that was in the live game that we can't get here. They do eventually down the line want to incorporate maps, but I can't wait probably a couple years for that. I need them now because I'm too stupid to remember where I'm going half the time. Especially when you get into some of those dungeons like Guck and stuff. It's an absolute maze, and you have to play for years to really get your head wrapped around those things and commit them to memory. Plus, there's like trapdoors and a whole bunch of other stuff that can get your character killed instantly. You got a guildie out here. He's a bard. He's just killing everything. He's my competition, but I raid with him, so I don't mind him. He's a nice guy. They can kill up to 4 mobs at a time here, but on any other server it's uncapped. They can kill the entire zone at the same time if they want to by kiting. You still playing Icarus? Like I saw wolf bait, I figured that could be any game, but then I saw drill and I was like, okay. It's probably Icarus, but it's worth asking. Yeah, I'm not too far behind you on the sleep thing. I don't know. Wife has a birthday party with the kid tomorrow, and then we have a Mother's Day / my birthday event at my in-laws. And I just don't want to make a big deal of it, but definitely want to celebrate Mother's Day with all the ladies. We're supposed to do it Sunday, but I think my wife's niece and nephew have like events like soccer and baseball and stuff. So it was originally planned for Sunday. It was supposed to be some big shebang, but now it's just going to be like a bonfire thing, which is fine. I like doing it. The weather's really nice for it. I just hope it doesn't rain, because then won't be much use going out into the rain. Probably won't be able to talk for a second because I'm full on mana and I gotta go kill something. Oof. A Shadow Knight. Yeah, if I'm home on Sunday, I'll try to chime into some of your stream for sure. And I think I will be home all day Sunday. Weekends are always hard for me, especially like Les. He sends me messages all the time, like, "Hey, can you get in here?" I was like, "Dude, I just went to bed. I can't." Always makes me feel so bad. Oh, I can't pull them because the Cyclops will come. Time for a little tappy tap. Just tap it in. No, it was a Cyclops. I like the same level range. The big skeletons, they're green to me, so they won't aggro unless I'm like low on health or sitting. But the Cyclopses are in the same level range as the Hill Giants, but they drop crap in comparison. So you need to kill them though, because they're placeholders for the Hill Giants. Do not want to fear this guy, because he's going to freaking climb up a tree. There we go, he's stuck. Oh yeah, we're dealing with original EQ rules. There's all that kind of stuff. Except for on this server there's instances, but there's not instances for zones, only for raid zones. Or anything with a raid target in it. And then there's special rules about what's in that instance, what drops loot, and all that crap too. That one was broke. It's kind of spicy. Got hill giants everywhere. Can't even fear right here. $977, not bad. I was gonna leave it 1K. Made 900 here. If I can make 11, that means I made 1,000 overall in a couple hours, so pretty damn good. Yeah, and I'm wearing a lot of this loam stuff I bought, and I've spent, I don't know, 5K-ish, and I almost have the entire set. I'm missing 3 pieces, and if I can offset the cost of what I paid for this, that would just be great before, you know... I know I'm going to delete this character when Ixars come out, but I'm transitioning all these bags, all this gear to the Ixar, so it's all in good spirit. Now I'm encumbered. Crap. Well, they do have some binding stuff. Like, if it's no drop, it can't be traded. So once you loot it once from wherever it comes from, you can't do anything with it. And then there's lore, which means you can only have one of them. So, like, if you get a good earring or a good ring, yeah, you got lore, you can only get the one. But there's not a lot of stuff that's no drop. It's mostly just stuff that comes from a few of the raid targets. Now, later down in the expansions, everything becomes basically no drop. But for the spirit of Quarm, like where we're going, Plains of Power is the cap, and there's still tons of stuff you can twink out alts with. My guildie, the bard, he must be tired. There's so many hill giants walking around, I just don't have the mana to kill him. Look at that, 1,000 plat even. That's awesome. I mean, I didn't have to do the buying of this set for my new Necromancer, or even this one. The thing about casters, well, the thing about pet classes in this game, at least in the classic era, you don't need gear at all. Like, you just don't. Mages don't, they could be naked and still be 90% as effective as if they had their gear on them. As long as they have a pet, and the higher you go, you don't even care about healing your pets, you just chain cast those bad boys. I've asked for help on my ranger a couple times with like quest mobs that should take an entire party, and there's a mage in my guild named Clarin, and he's just like, we don't need a party. Like, yeah, it's good to have the extra int and stuff, because then your spells will do more damage, but you don't even need to use your spells. Your pet is 95% of what you're going to be doing. You send that guy in. I mean, when you want to, like, level up, you need to do at least 50% of the damage, so you have to be careful. But, yeah, all that stuff is negotiable for at least Necro and Mage. For Enchanter, some of your stats matter, because you want to make sure that your charms don't break, or you want to make sure your charms land on first cast. That's really, really important. But Enchanter is this whole giant thing that, unless you love complex stuff and you never want to go to the bathroom again, you can play an Enchanter. I just put it on background music for her. She kind of doesn't like SpongeBob, so it puts her to sleep. So I turn it on as like a shot of NyQuil or something. That or Miss Rachel, but she loves Miss Rachel. But like, it also puts her to sleep because it's songs. I set out with no plan tonight. I'm kind of happy with what I've accomplished. Set up a stream, farm. Hey, why is this guy attacking me? Must have just gotten too close. Oh, that's it's the Lich line of spells. I'm burning my life for mana. When you get to like the third or fourth one in the line, I don't remember what level it is, but it's my highest one. It turns you into a skeleton because you basically burn your flesh off. It's just a visual effect thing. I think it does have some faction implications, like if I were to go where people wouldn't attack a skeleton, but most people attack skeletons on site. Damn you, Bard, who is in my guild. Yeah, there's actually an item that drops from one of the raid bosses called the Amulet of Necropotence, and it turns you into a skeleton as often as you want. It has no cooldown, and you can keep doing it. But if you wear the item, it's a necklace. It's awful. It's like negative 100 HP, and maybe a couple of points of intellect. That's something I eventually want on my ranger, is the AON, the necklace that turns me into stuff. Everybody's got the Dark Elf mask, and I am a Dark Elf with this necro, so it's pointless. I will, however, go get that mask on my Ixar once I get to that point in time. You can absolutely kill yourself with the Lich spell. If you drain your own health, it'll kill you. But you don't suffer an EXP penalty when that happens. Still gotta go get your body like an idiot, though. I remember the orb, I still have one. I love disguise stuff that changes your character. I remember reading a story a while back about R.A. Salvatore when Everquest first came out in 1999, and he wanted to be a Dark Elf Ranger, and so he contacted the customer support, and they're like, "Sir, we don't do Dark Elf Rangers," and the name Driss Duradan was already taken, and he was demanding that he get the name given to him, and they're like, "On what grounds?" He's like, "Because I created the character." So now the fact that I'm playing a ranger and I get to pretend to be a dark elf every time I play, I always have that thing on. I don't know if they gave them the name, but they certainly didn't let dark elves be rangers at any point in time. Uh-oh, he killed my pet. So now somebody can steal that hill giant from me at 15%. That's sad. Because if I get up, that Cyclops is going to womp me. Let's find out, because my Feign Death is back up. I still have a dot on that hill giant, alright. Yes, Membler, alright. We are safe. Now I gotta go get my hill giant back. Where are you, buddy? The nerve of these guys. I'm basically out of space anyway, so I'm gonna have to call it quits soon. I think there's an archaeology... No, never mind. But I think it happened in Kata. There's a night elf who will sell you a toy. It's really expensive, but I think it turns you into a ghost night elf. Well, at least that one was semi-loaded. So tempted to go until I'm at 1100 plat. But if they have weapons, I'm really running out of 100% reduction space. I already have. My 100% weight reduction bag is completely full. Then the other one's a 60. I could probably drop some toes. I dropped all my copper and silver already. That's what it was. Yeah, I remember using that one quite a bit. If I recall correctly, If you use that in conjunction with other toys, and I'm not sure if you have the toy tab in Kata, I just don't remember when they added that. But if you used it in conjunction with other toys, you can modify your view or change your sex or something like that. I remember there's just a bunch of toys that if you use them together, you can change the results to fun effects. I'd have to pull a new pet out for this if I want to keep going. I don't want to keep going for 60 more plat. If I were to have come out here with my ranger, even though he's pretty efficient at killing these guys, not more than this necro 10 levels, he's lower. I would have had to leave probably 2 different times to go buy more arrows. That's how silly this is. My level 40 necro completely outshines my ranger, who is in best in slot gear. Blows my mind, but I have more fun on the ranger, so I'm going to be playing ranger until they get super duper OP. And I guess the fun part about playing a gimped class like ranger in classic is that every new set of content we get that much stronger, and it's something to look forward to. Necros are born gods, so are mages. They don't get much better. It's just a flat line. So if you look forward to stuff, it's nice to play classes that get those big buffs. Like right now in Classic Everquest, or this version of Classic on Quarm, warriors are like the worst tanks because their aggro generation is awful. But then they get these things called disciplines in Kunark and Velios, and makes them very, very good at tanking. So much so that the other tanks fall to the wayside and become off tanks. But there's people who've been doing this grind for many, many years on private servers like P99. Everybody in my guild is just an old veteran who knows everything about the game, and I have to remind them often that this is basically all new to me. Treat me like I'm 5. I mean, I love it, and I read up on it when I'm not playing. And I've learned a few things since I have started playing, since I've been here for the inception of the server. I guess that's like 7 months now. But still, these guys have done this multiple times in retail, on TLPs, on P99 Blue, on P99 Green, and now Quarm. The wealth of knowledge with some of the veterans here is insane. They know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and that's regarding every piece of information about the game. Yep, I'm probably going to wrap it up here. I'll go back to the tunnel, since I can gate like a badass, and sell these weapons, and then we'll see. Probably just dick around for a minute and then call it quits. But it was a good test run. Glad I fixed out pretty much all my issues. My chat blur is still kind of wonky. I got to take care of that because it's still a little chopped up, but it's doing its job. That's what I care about. And then I guess the Discord thing was very easy to solve. You just have to put on streamer mode and mute audio so when I am raiding and I stream the raid, nobody will hear my guildies, which is upon their request, and I want to respect their privacy. I didn't expect anybody to chime in and come watch, so if you guys, if you're lurking, I really appreciate it. I haven't streamed in years, and no, this whole Quarm thing sparked my interest in just getting it out there so I can upload the VODs to YouTube. And of course, Micro, I appreciate you stopping by. We're friends, so You probably saw me streaming, and I appreciate that. It really helped with a lot of my questions I had. Well, that reached my goal either way because of the loot. There's 1100 right there. I made 1,000 plat on this necro tonight in just a couple hours. Yeah, but I was playing before I was streaming for sure. I flashed my little technical difficulty screen up there. Alright, that's going to do it for me, guys. You guys, appreciate you stopping by and taking a look. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more regularly. This way I can get some VODs out there for YouTube so that people understand what Quarm is if they're interested. I want to start answering questions and stuff like that. I appreciate you all coming into view, and you all have a good night.